age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
And with that out of the way, hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play... I nearly said Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I knew that was going to happen. Let's play Dark Souls. In the last episode, we just made a character. And in this episode, we watched a long cutscene, and now we're going to pick a key out of a dead body's bum. But yes, all that cutscene was probably rather confusing in terms of what the hell any of that meant. To put it simply, for us, we're undead, which means we cannot die. I guess that goes without saying. And all the undead people are shoved here because undead people are annoying, because they cannot die. So here we are. And then all of a sudden that man came and threw us the key, and now we're let out. How long we've been in there, who we were before we became undead, and all that, unknown. Never will know. Whatever. Oh, hell like that. Look at that. I wonder what that guy's doing down there. How do you even get in there? I don't know. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, these are undead. It's more specifically, they are hollow, but we will get into what that means later on. And yes, you can see there's like little instructions on the ground here. Attack, which is like that. Strong attack, which is like that. And yeah, right stick is camera controls. I already know all this. I've played this game before. And my dog is barking. Left stick, and yeah, I'm already doing that. Dashing. Which is just running really, but they call it dashing. Target lock and release, which means this can lock onto enemies, which, you know, in a 3D action game is kind of essential. If you couldn't do that, then it'd probably be awkward. Probably be very awkward indeed. But for now, we're just stuck with this rubbish weapon, so we're not going to be attacking anything. For now, we're going to simply come over here, sit at this thing. The first way, what does this say? But after bonfire recover HP, that's right. Yep. You sit here at these bonfires, these famous little bonfires, quite an iconic piece. Even people who don't play the Dark Souls probably have seen this somewhere before. Well, at least, well, probably. It's quite a famous game, Dark Souls, to be honest, but out of people that have played it, less people have played it than have heard of it, I'll say that much, but it's definitely worth a try. Hopefully I can convince you through this. But yeah, this bonfire, it's your checkpoint basically. You rest here, you get HP back, respawns everything though, so it's like got advantages and disadvantages of sitting at the bonfire. But for now, it's not that important because we haven't killed anything yet. But yes, as you'll see, we look up and there's something that looks rather familiar. A little... look at that. Hello. For a lot of people, they don't notice that when they first come in. They just see this thing jump down from above. Like so, get away. He's not wrong. You're going to want to go in here. Now, as I'm going to quickly say, right off the bat, you can kill him in that first encounter, even though this weapon only does like 2 damage. How, you ask? With the black fire bombs, which I said about earlier in the previous episodes. And basically, if you kill him the first time you meet him, i.e. just then, you will get his weapon, like 100% of the time, right at the beginning of the game. So if you want that weapon right at the start, you can do that and get it right at the beginning. Oh, we got a guy immediately shooting arrows at us. Heater shield. Start. Open menu, arms icon, change equipment, and yep, with LB, with shield equipped, you guard. Like so, you put that on, you do that, and then these arrows cannot hurt thee. I don't know why did he shoot one into the wall? Goodness knows. Yes, then we move on up here, and we get a long sword, which is way better than a hilt. It only does like 60 more damage though. But trust me, that's way better. The way defense works in this game, 80 damage is a lot more than 20. Actually, I'll do a little comparison. Might as well. I'm just going to back off. Yeah, you see that did like a decent amount of damage. If I get out this, look at that, 2, 44. The way defense works in this game kind of means that it goes up quite heavily the more damage you get. Or should I say, it gets reduced more heavily the less damage you do. As we go over here, there is literally nothing of worth. Nothing down there. And up here is an item that we cannot get, no matter how hard you may try. Trust me, I've tried a million jumps. And look, we're overlooking where we were before. B, backstep. Left stick and B is roll. And if you see, that's a backstep, and then we got the good old roll. You're going to be using that a lot. Well, most likely. And right here, we're going to want to go down here. Because it's a shortcut. You couldn't open this door before. I should have showed that really, but you can't open this door from this side. You can only open it from that side. It'd be a bit silly if you could skip half the tutorial, but we can rest here again. And technically you could go fight that man now, I think. The big giant demon man? Yeah, you could, but you shouldn't. Because you still have much to learn. And much to gain. Like, for example, there's one thing to learn is this game is very mean. That can easily hit you if you're not paying attention. Be sure to always look where you're going. And then we got this guy up here. Just block all that. Bam. Dead. And as we see, it is locked. Well, what do we do now? And the amount of people I've seen get completely stumped here is depressing, because, as you will notice, this ball has knocked a hole through the wall, and that's where you've got to go. And then we will talk to this man.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I were both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably,
Of course.
I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
What he means exactly by dying when he's undead and harming us after death is kind of something we'll again get into a bit later on. As you can see, we're resting a bonfire, replenished Estus flasks, which is good. And you'll notice there's a hole in the ceiling, and also that this room, before this ball hit it, this cannonball thing, it was completely sealed. So as to how he got in here, now if you think about it for a second, he was on the roof when he threw down the corpse to us, right? And what else was on the roof? Demon Man in there. Therefore, it stands to reason that he unfortunately met the demon on the roof and was smacked into this room, and that is why he is near death right now. Which is a shame. His name's Oscar, by the way. The game never tells you that. His name's only in the credits, but I figured I might as well tell you. He is actually rather important for a few reasons. The main one being that he's the one who starts your character's journey, but also because originally, in the original game, he was meant to have a way bigger purpose, but I'll get into that later on. Cut content, something I'll be discussing a bit throughout this game, but not right now. Let's get to at least know what we're doing first, but yeah. Bye-bye, Oscar. And as you'll see, unfortunately, I have to move my mic there because I realised I'm covering up part of the screen. Hopefully that doesn't mess everything up. He is dead now, and we got 100 whole souls for it. Good for us. And as you'll see at the bottom of the counter, I haven't made mention of that yet, but the bottom of the screen, that number is just souls. Souls are important for a lot of reasons, and we'll get into that in a bit. Also, I should read these. Yeah, you press Y and you can put your right-handed weapon in two hands. You get a slightly different moveset on weapons and stuff, which is useful for a lot of things. Also, you get more strength. Technically, when you're two-handing, you gain more strength, so some weapons do a lot more damage when you two-hand them, but again, complicated mechanics, get into them a bit later on. Also, this prompt is a bit silly. By left stick and kick, it means quickly tapping forwards and pressing the button. Like, quickly tapping forward and RB makes the kick, and quickly tapping forward and RT makes the jump attack. The game doesn't really explain that. I don't know how you'd write that down. Resting a bonfire to revive his enemies, I've already said that, you bum. As you'll see, we're now up here. And we got enemies around here. We got an archer and 2 swordmen. And what you want to do is, obviously... Oh, I actually still got hit by him. I got hit twice. Yeah, I'm already bad at this game. I'm terrible at this game. Everyone's terrible at this game. As you can see, we'll go behind him and do a little backstab, which is useful. Just so you know, this room is meant to kind of explain backstabs. Behind enemy goes critical hit, which is a backstab, and LT is a parry. Like that. And then you get a front critical hit, basically. quickly tell something useful that a lot of players don't think about and don't really know. You can't backstab straight out of blocking, so you can't lock onto an enemy, circle round them, and then immediately let go of block and backstab them. You've got to be out of block for a tiny amount of time before you do it, so be aware of that, because I've seen a lot of players be like, why didn't I get that backstab? Well, it's probably because you weren't out of block for long enough. I don't know why that's the case. I don't think that's the case in the second game or any of the other games, but it's the case in this one. Now you're going to want to traverse the white light because, as you see, we come into this room with this guy here, and what we want to do is... I nearly missed that. But you do a plunging attack by pressing RB while you're full, and that gives you a free load of damage right at the start. And as you see, we now actually do damage to him. Whereas before we would have only done like 2 damage per hit. I didn't really show him getting hit because it's kind of pointless. You do like chip damage. But this fight is meant to be easy, so don't worry too hard about it. Just avoid his attacks. Ba-boom. Yeah, come on mate, easy. I thought this game was meant to be hard. But yeah, with that we get a key and some humanity. Again, I'll go over the uses of humanity very shortly. For now, we're just going to leave this place. Yeah, 2,000 whole souls just for me. Good job, go straight ahead. Thank you, note man. That's probably Oscar leaving those notes, by the way. I think that's implied that it's Oscar that leaves those notes. Guess we're going to go over here because item that loads of people don't know about. Bet you didn't know about it. I didn't know about it until like last time I played this. And there's a thing over there, but we're not doing it yet because I don't need to. Also because there's nothing useful we can do with it. Don't worry, we'll be coming back here eventually, just to spoil it. So don't worry about missing stuff.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
And with that, in Lordran level up and Kingdom bonfires. Wow, that's... yeah, that makes no sense. I'll explain all of that, I swear. But yes, with all of that said and done, we've done the tutorial and we're finally at the first area of the game, Firelink Shrine. Join us in the next episode where we'll be exploring this place and getting some stuff done. But yes, until then, see ya.